Hey everybody, it's Coach Matt, and this is the only video you'll ever need to watch on high intensity interval training. And if you don't want to watch it, you want me to send you the handout, just put handout in the comments and I'll send it your way. Or you can just read it in the description. But let's talk HIIT training. First of all, most of us are doing HIIT wrong. We think we're doing HIIT, but we're not doing HIIT, high intensity interval training. So the high intensity means you are sprinting, like somebody put a gun to your head, was stealing your child, you were getting chased by a Tyrannosaurus Rex. That, my friends, is HIIT training. So if you're in the gym and those external factors aren't pressing you to go all out, you have to do it internally and push yourself. So I'm on an Air Dyne bike. I'm gonna give you a little example. You can see my heart rate up there. That's in the green. Next to the Triumph logo, green is in the 70%. So my goal is to sprint for 20 seconds. Now I'm gonna be out of breath when I explain all the benefits of HIIT training, but just wanna give you a little quick sample. So this is where most people kind of get to. But true HIIT is getting it out, baby. All out, maximum effort. Like you can't go anymore. And you run out of gas, like I just did. That is HIIT training. And you can see very quickly, my heart rate is now going up to 85, 86%. And that's the minimum floor threshold for effective HIIT training. Meaning you gotta hit at least 85% of your maximum heart rate. So why do this crazy stuff? The benefit of HIIT is that it's time efficient and highly effective. The not so good benefit or the downside of HIIT, it is intense. Hence the intensity in the acronym HIIT. It is not fun, but you don't have to do it often and you don't have to do it much. I literally will do 8 to 10 intervals every 7 to 10 days, 20 to 60 seconds max. On the Air Dyne, 20 seconds is all I can do at maximum effort. Most of the time it's like 15, 16, 17, and you just feel yourself run out of gas. And then the higher that intensity, the more muscles being used, the longer the recovery period. So I would do, like that train in the background, blowing my horn, 20 seconds followed by up to 2 minutes of recovery. You can see my heart rate's coming back down, I'm talking, but let's talk all the benefits. Why do this crazy stuff? I use the acronym MILE, M-I-L-E. M stands for mitochondria. Mitochondria are the power plants or the energy producing parts of our cells. More mitochondrial density, which is what HIIT training does, means you have a bigger engine. More mitochondria to burn more ATP, which will burn more energy and help you burn fat faster. So assuming you don't replace calories and you're in a calorie deficit, more mitochondria is gonna let you burn more fat. That's a simple way to explain it, but that's the M. I stands for insulin sensitivity. You may have heard of the rampant epidemic of type 2 diabetes. That starts with insulin resistance or insulin insensitivity. HIIT training along with strength training in combination, hopefully both are critical parts of your overall exercise routine, will improve insulin sensitivity or more reactiveness to when your body makes insulin. It's gonna allow more of the glucose to be uptake into the cell, or the cells will uptake the glucose. That's the I, and very important for metabolic health. The L, lactate threshold. So if you are trying to do a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, your lactate threshold is basically your ability to clear lactate at a certain intensity. If you improve lactate threshold, which HIIT training does better than anything, efficiently and effectively, you're going to be able to run faster at the same intensity or same heart rate, and therefore decrease your PR times. I've had so many clients that are runners that weren't doing HIIT and or strength training, and when they start training here at Triumph, where we do both, incorporated into our TriFit overall small group training program. I tell them you will run less, or I suggest they run less, and their times will improve. So I had many times runners, 10K, half marathons, doing 5 days a week, 6 days a week of training. I told them cut it back to 3, do 3 of our workouts, or cut your training even to 2. When I ran my half marathon at 151, I only ran twice a week, a 5K for race pace, and then a short building distance. So I just had a half marathoner cut 12 minutes off her time, going from training 5 days a week running to 3 days a week running, incorporating strength training and lactate threshold HIIT training, running less, decreasing her time by 12 minutes. So this is absolutely effective. So that is the L, lactate threshold. And finally, E, EPOC, exercise post-oxygen consumption. That is the afterburn effect, or the effect to our metabolism, putting it in kind of layman's terms. After a solid HIIT session of 8 of these intense intervals, my EPOC is going to go up, meaning I'm going to burn more oxygen, uptake more oxygen over the next 36 to 48 hours, which is another way of increasing calorie burn. So those are the main 4 benefits, and then the list goes on. If you want a handout of this, you can put handout in the comments, and I'll send it to you, I'll DM it to you, or you can just read in the description. I'm gonna do my best to summarize this, but going into some additional benefits, if you're still with me, cardiovascular, you're gonna improve your VO2 max. Strength and VO2 max are the number 1 and 2 predictors of functional health span. So it's gonna increase that, very proficiently. It's gonna increase your stroke volume, the amount of blood your heart pushes out per stroke, per beat, out of the left ventricle. So your heart works more efficiently. It's gonna pump more blood per beat to circulate oxygen to your working muscles. That's a formula for cardiac output. And then endothelial function doesn't get a lot of press. I talked about it in my book, The Magic Pill. Endothelial cells line our vascular systems, our blood vessels, our arteries, our capillaries, our veins. When you have good, elastic endothelial cells working properly, those vessels are going to be more elastic and less likely to microtear. And those microtears are where plaque formation typically happens. Creates an inflammation response, and the body tries to heal it, forms a plaque, then it calcifies, and that process repeats itself over and over. So when you have good endothelial cells, less likely to happen in the first place. And then finally, it's going to improve your resting heart rate and blood pressure, help lower blood pressure. So that being said, like I said, it's not the most comfortable style of training. You don't need special equipment like the Air Dyne I'm on, but it's ideal. I like to do low impact if we're over the age of 50, easier on the joints. The more muscles working, the better. So we use the Air Dyne, we have a Max trainer, we have a ski erg, we have Jacob's ladder, we have rowers. All of these are great forms. Treadmill intervals on an incline can be, another form is going to be higher impact. But if that's all you got, really only 20 to 60 seconds max, followed by a recovery period. So hopefully you learned all you need to know about HIIT training. Knowledge is power, but it's useless if you don't execute. The people that are successful in life, in relationships, in business, in physical health, are the ones that execute, not just learn. So apply this in your life. Hopefully that's been helpful. I'm Coach Matt O'Brien here at Triumph Fitness in Largo, Florida. If you need any help, love to support you on your health journey. Strong is young, and the why in Triumph is you. So y'all get to work, get some HIIT going in your life, and stay strong, my friends. I'll see you next time.